So the history to 350k for Are You OK? So going right back to Christmas 2017, my son Luke was 22 years of age at that time. He just finished his plumbing apprenticeship. He was a good football player, been getting paid to play footy since he was about 15, 16 years of age. And well-liked kid, good-looking, happy, healthy kid. And he's living in Victoria. I was living up here on the Gold Coast. And we spoke on Christmas Day, and he sounded a bit seedy. He said he had a few with the boys the night before from the footy club. And I was a bit like, well, fair enough, as any normal parent, get some food and fluids in, mate, she'll be right. And I didn't think there was anything wrong with him at that time. Through my workplace, I'd done some training in the mental health first aid space, and I still didn't notice that anything was wrong. And he took his life the following day. No one was aware that there was anything wrong. No note was left behind to explain what the cause or what the situation was. And I kind of lost the plot, maybe. I just became incredibly angry. I don't think anger is a sufficient word. I just had a great deal of rage within myself, and I've been running for quite some time and doing endurance sport, and I just needed to escape people. And instead of running down the beach, just a short distance from home, I started driving out to Lamington, to Binnaburra, to Springbrook National Park. And because you can run out there for hours if you want to. You take the less known routes and just be yourself and just be by yourself. And so I did that for hours on end. And I continued that through. I did my first miler only 2 months after Luke's passing. Went over to New Zealand, did Tarawera. And maybe the truth of the matter is that wasn't quite enough. I needed to continue my running therapy, and I picked a 200 miler over in the US, and it happened to be the time of my birthday, my 50th. So I went to Washington State in the US and did the Bigfoot 200 miles, and I came back, and I thought I was okay. At the time I thought I was okay, but in retrospect I don't think I was. And certain other things occurred around that time. Life was quite difficult, and again, running remains as that therapy. So fast forward to around August, September of 2020, and I had healed as much as one can heal from such a thing. And I thought, okay, it's time now for me to do something tangible to maybe stop people from doing that, and maybe to save their friends, family, parents from losing the people they love. And I'd seen other people had done sporting events dedicated to charitable organisations, and that always kind of resonated with me, that they were doing something altruistic, I think is the terminology, for other people. And I thought, okay, well, COVID was around at the time, and I thought, well, I better stay close to home because you probably can't travel anywhere. And I thought, well, the Coastal High 50 is my favourite local event, and I couldn't think of a better event to do it. And I thought, okay, well, one won't really capture people's imaginations, so I just picked 7. And I thought, well, why not 7? A mate of mine said to me during this, so one of my mates, Trav, said to me last week, who crewed for me, he said, why 7? And I said, well, I laughingly said, well, 2 wasn't enough. And he said, what was wrong with 5? And we had a bit of a laugh, because I kind of looked at him and I said, well, yeah, 5 would have been good. Would anyone notice if we changed it to 250? But apparently they would have, so we stuck with 350. And but in all honesty, it was a way of capturing people's imagination. It was one step beyond, I think, what people might have anticipated. And in order to garner attention, I wanted something to be extreme, and that's why I picked seven in a row. And in terms of organisations, I looked at varying organisations, and they all do different things. But for me, Are You OK was the one that I chose because it's all about prevention. Other organisations focus on the very important space of crisis, but for me, it was about harm minimisation and start at the beginning. And that's primarily why I chose them.